Hi, I'm Sonia from Vidya Guru, starting a new session in English medium on current affairs. This session is in English medium. I've already told you. If you are willing to watch the session in Hindi medium, you can switch to the session in Hindi medium. That is also there in the playlist. This session, which is completely in English medium, is for our South Indian students, is for our Northeast students primarily. But otherwise, if you understand, the language, you can watch the session. There's no harm because that's how you'll improve your language comprehension also. I'll start with the first question, but before starting, I wish to urge that if you understand everything, that I'm going to try very hard. If you understand everything, please press the like button for sure, because I've actually put in a lot of efforts. I expect, that you'll be pressing the like button at least. Share the video with your friends so that they can get the benefit of such a session. And don't forget to subscribe to Vidya Guru's YouTube channel. You have to press the subscribe button. New users, press the bell icon as well. Because that's how, because if you don't press the bell icon, you'll not be getting the notifications of our videos. You'll be getting the notifications only when you press the bell icon button. I'll start with the first point. Now, you yourself judge how important these questions are. Because I'll be actually talking about missiles today. Must be thinking like what I've started with. I'll be not starting with missiles, but actually I'll be talking about missiles subsequently. I'll start with French Open. Apart from French Open, we'll be discussing the names of all Nobel Prize laureates, as in the ones I found important. Apart from the Nobel Prize, apart from French Open, we'll be discussing RBI's monetary policy and a lot many important things. You yourself, I want you to judge actually how important this session is. I'll start with the first question. Okay, this is about French Open. French Open took place. The announcements were made of the winners. So I'll start with the first winner, and that is men's singles title was lifted by Rafael Nadal. And we all know him, how illustrious, how famous this man is, this player is. Rafael Nadal is from Spain. You know what happens at times? We are familiar with the name of the player. But the problem is that we forget the nationality of that same player. He is the winner. He is from Spain. I am emphatically telling you, Rafael Nadal is from Spain. Don't forget that. There's no scope. If I say who was defeated, so Rafael Nadal defeated Novak Djokovic. Novak Djokovic is from Serbia. He is also equally famous. You cannot take the risk of forgetting anyone's name as in either of the names. Rafael Nadal won by defeating Novak Djokovic. I'll switch to women's singles. When I'll start talking about Iga Swiatek, you must be thinking the name is different because we have been listening to common names, which are actually the winners of all the opens. When I talk about Iga Swiatek, what is new out here? She is from Poland and must be thinking what is so important. The concern here is that if you actually listen to the names of players, those who have actually become the winners, but you rarely find the name of somebody, rarely, I'm not saying not at all, I'm saying rarely you find a winner from Poland. So that is why this name is even more imperative, even more significant for us. Iga Swiatek, she is from Poland. Her nationality will be asked in your exam. She has lifted the title of women's singles in French Open by defeating Sofia Kenin, and Sofia Kenin is from USA. The next one is men's doubles. Okay, French Open men's doubles. We'll talk about Kevin Krawitz and Andreas Mies. Andreas Mies and Kevin Krawitz, they are the winners. They lifted the title of men's doubles. Kevin and Andreas, they collectively, obviously collectively because it was men's doubles. So Kevin and Andreas, these two people lifted the title of men's doubles by defeating Mate Pavic and Bruno Soares. Mate Pavic and Bruno Soares, they are also, they also make a famous pair. We have heard about them. By lifting, they even lift so many titles. Mate Pavic, Bruno Soares, they are also important, but they got defeated this time by Kevin and Andreas. And let's move to women's doubles. Women's doubles on your screen, Timea Babos and Kristina Ladanovic. Timea Babos, Kristina Ladanovic. I actually taught you these names multiple times. So Timea and Kristina should be, on your tongue like always. Because Timea and Kristina, they are famous. They have actually won a lot many titles. That is why Timea Babos and Kristina Ladanovic. Understand the cause of the repetition. Why I'm repeating things, why I'm repeating the names, because the names are actually not the Indian names and there's a possibility you may forget them, and I really don't want that. I really cannot take that chance. I want you should answer all the questions correctly in your exam. That is why I'm repeating these names. Otherwise it is very easy for a teacher to read these names and move on and move ahead. I'm not doing that. Repeating the names, please understand, for you guys. Timea and Kristina lifted the title of women's doubles by defeating Alexa Gorachi and Desiree Krosik. Desiree Krosik and Alexa Guarachi. Actually, Alexa and Desiree were defeated by Timea and Kristina. That's how we're going to retain the names. Timea and Kristina. French Open mixed doubles. Last time when actually I taught you a US Open, the same thing happened there as well. That mixed doubles did not take place. Similar thing happened here. In French Open, there was no mixed doubles. When I say mixed doubles, I'm referring to a male player with a female player. They are actually going to play together, and some group is going to lift the title of mixed doubles. But that did not take place. So French Open, no mixed doubles took place. Let's move to Nobel Prize from here on. A lot many important names, a lot many difficult names, but you have to retain them all as you are a student who's going to write an exam, and in those exams these important names carry some value. Physiology, medicine. That means I'm referring to the same thing. These are the categories. When I actually refer to medicine, I refer to chemistry, I refer to physics, I refer to literature or peace. So these are the categories in which Nobel Prize is actually given to. These are the laureates which are there on your screen. Collectively, jointly, these actually guys have received Nobel Prize in the category of medicine. Harvey J. Alter, Michael Hutton, Charles M. Rice. Harvey, Michael, Charles. Harvey, Michael, Charles. Harvey, Michael, Charles. These are the three people for their outstanding, amazing contribution in the field of physiology. They received that. But what was the contribution all about? The contribution was there for the discovery of hepatitis C virus. See, till now, people like us were familiar with only hepatitis B. Yes, but the discovery of hepatitis C virus actually brought them Nobel Prize in medicine, in the field of medicine. So I'll actually move ahead with the award in the field of chemistry. Look at your screen. These two great women, Emmanuel and Jennifer. Yes, they are women. Emmanuel Charpentier and Jennifer A. Doudna. Emmanuel and Jennifer got the Nobel Prize in the field of chemistry for the contribution in development. For the contribution of what? They developed. The development of CRISPR-Cas9. Okay, see, the names are important, but here I feel something else is even more important. In this question, which is there on your screen, if you read the names Emmanuel and Jennifer, that they received Nobel Prize in the field of chemistry, what is more important out here, what I feel is, they may ask you in the exam, what is CRISPR-Cas9? CRISPR-Cas9 is genome editing method which they developed, which these great ladies developed. I'm saying CRISPR-Cas9 is genome editing method which Emmanuel and Jennifer developed. I'll move with the other point, the other category, and that was literature. This lady is famous, Louise Gluck, a poetess from USA. They may ask you the origin or the nationality of this lady, Louis Gluck. She won Nobel Prize in the category of literature. She is from USA and her important works are Wild Iris, as in the books, the poems, the collection of poems which she actually penned down. I'm going to name not all of them, but some of them which I found important. If you wish to actually read a few more names, you can type her name in Google, you will get a lot many. But it'll be difficult, for a student to find out which one is important. So in my perception, these were the books actually, these were the collections which I found important. And the first one I'll start with, Wild Iris, The House on Marshland, Ever No, Faithful and Virtuous Night, Meadowlands, Proofs and Theories. I'll repeat them once again because I feel that 2, 3 will stay in your mind. Not all, I understand your concern as well as you are a kid. Wild Iris, The House on Marshland, Ever No, Faithful and Virtuous Night, Meadowlands, Proofs and Theories. I'll move ahead with the other category, and that is the category is physics, the most important one. As this is considered this is considered the most important one. Okay, I'll start with Roger Penrose, and I'll actually be saying the name of Reinhard Genzel and Andreas Ghez. Andrea Ghez, Reinhard Genzel, Roger Penrose. These people actually collectively received the award in the category of physics. Nobel Prize in physics was actually been given to Roger Penrose, Reinhard Genzel, Andrea Ghez. Okay, what was the contribution of these people? Okay, Roger Penrose, the contribution was discovering that black hole formation is a robust prediction of the general theory of relativity. So this fellow, Roger, has actually discovered that was black hole formation, first thing. And the second person, the second combo, Reinhard and Andrea, these people actually, their contribution was discovering a supermassive, a gigantic, supermassive, compact object at the center of our galaxy. Obviously, it is pretty new for all of us because we were not aware about it. Their contribution was, they discovered supermassive, huge in size, big, huge, compact object, and that object they found in our own galaxy. Who? Reinhard Genzel and Andrea Ghez. Let's move to the other point. The other category is for peace. Nobel Prize for Peace. It was not awarded to a person or maybe 2, 3 persons collectively. It was actually given to an organization which was actually fighting hunger, combating hunger, and that was UN World Food Programme. UN World Food Programme got the Nobel Prize for Peace, and their contribution was the same I was actually referring to, and that was for its efforts to combat hunger, fight hunger, and to better conditions for peace. Obviously, if they are receiving such an award, they may have done something outstanding in the category, in this category. That means they have done something huge for establishing peace and harmony. That's what they have done. UN World Food Programme. Let's move to the other question. And this question is about Nobel Prize also. I wanted to actually talk about the recipient in the category of economics also. Nobel Prize for Economics was awarded to Paul R. Milgrom, Robert B. Wilson. Paul R. Milgrom or Robert B. Wilson. Paul received the award in the category of economics, and the award, this award is also known as Nobel Prize for the category, in the category of economics, that is actually also known as, that is Swearengen's Riksbank Prize. Don't forget its name, it is a little difficult, probably a little more difficult for you guys. You have to learn this name because this alternate name can be there in your exam. Economics, Swearengen's Riksbank Prize, that is the same award we are referring to, Nobel Prize in Economics. What was the contribution of Paul and Robert? That was improvements to auction theory, and inventions of new auction formats. If you cannot retain this much, just retain it like that. Auction theory, for auction theory, Paul and Robert were awarded Nobel Prize in the field of economics. So Paul and Robert for auction theory. Let's move to the other question now. And a sad news happened actually. That was Ramvilas Paswan. He passed away recently. We heard the news a few days back. Ramvilas Paswan was the Minister of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. That is not the question which is going to be there in your exam, but I wanted to tell you somebody replaced that ministry. Somebody replaced that ministry. That means Piyush Goyal has actually become the Minister of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. He was given the additional charge. That means, like, let's say if he is the Minister of Railways, additional charges, that means Union Minister of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, that is also given to Piyush Goyal. Lok Jan Shakti Party, okay, not Piyush Goyal, I'm saying Lok Jan Shakti Party was the party of Ramvilas Paswan. Late Ramvilas Paswan belonged to Lok Jan Shakti Party. The name of the party is very important, can be there in your exam. Please keep that in your mind. New chairman of SBI. The bank is significant for our economy, so the chairman is Dinesh Kumar Khara, and his name becomes equally important for us. Dinesh Kumar Khara, new chairman of SBI, bank, State Bank of India, SBI, referring to that and not SEBI. Don't get confused. New RBI deputy governor, that is M. Rajeshwar Rao. So M. Rajeshwar Rao has become the new deputy governor of RBI, Reserve Bank of India. The other question is RBI monetary policy review. That means we are going to discuss many important things about RBI now. Their monetary policy, bi-monthly monetary policy review came out, and this came up with many things remained unchanged. Like, I'll start with repo rate. See, even if you are familiar with the rates, and when I say that repo rates are the same or maybe reverse repo is the same, there's a possibility like in some point of time you've missed some video. So don't skip that. Even if you are familiar with the rates, reconfirm with me. Repo rate 4%, no change, unchanged. Whatever was there earlier, that is the same repo rate maintained by RBI this time as well. Reverse repo 3.35%, unchanged, no change. Cash to reserve ratio 3% and statutory liquidity ratio 18%. And the other rates are MSF, marginal standing facility 4.25%, remain unchanged. Bank rate 4.25%, unchanged, remained the same. That means monetary policy stance was kept accommodative. I'll move with RBI ahead, and there's another question about RBI. RBI's monetary policy review, in which they have mentioned something else, and that is co-origination model for priority sector lending extended to NBFCs including HFCs. Please understand that. You need to read the word extended carefully. I know there are people who are not aware of these terms, but I'll explain this to them in easier terms. So my motive is to make things easier for you. I'll try my level best to make you understand, but be focused here. I'm just saying that banks do lend money in the priority sector. Banks do lend money. Okay, RBI provides money to banks further lend money. I'm saying banks can lend money to priority sector like MSME, like agriculture. But I am saying this right of lending money from banks, it has been extended to NBFCs also. That means NBFCs and banks collectively under co-origination model will be able to lend to, as in collaboration with, will be able to lend to priority sector. As in collectively they can actually lend money, they can actually give money, provide loans to priority sector. Other than bank, NBFC will also be doing that. That is the co-origination model. for priority sector lending, and it has been extended to NBFCs. And what sort of NBFCs? Which include HFCs also. All the NBFCs apart from NBFCs, as in I'm saying, HFCs are also the part. They are not excluding housing finance companies. Let's read the lower point, the lower one. All NBFCs will be allowed to collaborate with banks. All NBFCs will collaborate with banks to undertake priority sector lending. That means they'll be given the responsibility of priority sector lending along with the banks. Let's move to the other point. Priority sector lending targets. Priority sector lending targets, what does it mean? Let's say if I am a bank, I'm HDFC, I am maybe ICICI, I am maybe Kotak. So what is the limit? As in how much RBI asks me to lend to priority sector. That's what I'm trying to explain here. Let's talk about the banks here. And the banks are domestic commercial, like I said, Kotak, HDFC, ICICI, they are domestic commercial banks. Let's say if a bank is lending 100 rupees, out of 100 rupees, 40 rupees should be given as loan to priority sector. That's what I'm actually explaining here in the first point. Domestic commercial banks, apart from that, foreign banks like Citibank, like HSBC. So these foreign banks, the limit is the same. Like if they lend 100 rupees, out of every 100 they have to lend 40 to priority sector. There's nothing out which you are actually cannot read or understand. It is just written 40% of adjusted net bank credit. Read it like that. Bank credit, bank loan, net bank provides loan like of 100 rupees. Out of that 100, 40 rupees will be given to priority sector. Regional rural banks, small finance banks, 75% of their A and B, C they'll be actually given to priority sector. 75%, yes, because they are regional rural banks. Primary urban cooperative banks, like 40% of their adjusted net bank credit. The full form of adjusted net bank credit is also important. So adjusted net bank credit, the 40% of this, 40% of their 100 will be actually given as loan to priority sector. I'm referring to primary urban cooperative banks. But there's something new to it, which I wish to add on. Like this limit is 40% now. If I am an urban cooperative bank, primary urban cooperative bank. So let's say if I am lending, presently of my 100, 40 will be given to, every 100 will be given to priority sector. But next year, from March 2021, it will be 45%. Like I am an urban cooperative bank, earlier the limit of lending to priority sector was 40. Now the limit next year will be revised to 45%. There's another thing to add here, because RBI has announced that this news is important for you guys, that in 2024, the limit primary urban cooperative banks, the limit for primary urban cooperative banks in 2024, yes, not 2020, not 2021, I'm talking about 2024. The limit will be 75%. Like if I am an urban cooperative bank, right now the limit is 40% out of 100. Next year it will be 45%, but in 2024 I have to lend 75 rupees out of every 100 in priority sector only. Let's move to the other point. Service to be made available round the clock. And we have heard a lot many things, such things. So there's nothing new or nothing which is going to make you scared of. RTGS, real-time gross settlement. I'm saying that is RTGS. From December 2020, round the clock RTGS will be available for you guys. You know NEFT, you know IBPS, I know that. But RTGS is also known to people, but RTGS is of higher value. That is why people like us rarely use such service. But that is going to be made available 24/7, round the clock from December 2020. And the minimum value for RTGS is 2 lakh. But upper limit, there's no upper limit for RTGS. You can actually keep that in your mind, but minimum value is there. Below 2 lakh, there's no RTGS. The next point is RBI announces on-tap TLTRO. What is TLTRO? The full form, the expanded form of TLTRO is equally important for you guys. Targeted long-term repo operations. Read the words carefully. Long-term and repo operations. Whenever RBI talks about repo operations, we actually say it means that RBI is planning to increase liquidity, is planning to increase money in circulation. By doing so, obviously, they are planning to increase money in circulation here for long term. That is actually the meaning of targeted long term on tap when it is required. I'm saying targeted long term repo operations. When RBI is performing such a thing, their motive is to increase money in circulation. The scheme's worth, the worth of the scheme is 1 lakh crore. It is that huge. They are going to increase the value, increase the money by 1 lakh crore in our economy. And the tenure, the duration for it is 3 years. But that is not 3 years. I'm saying up to 3 years. These are the words, you read them carefully. I'm saying tenure for it is up to 3 years. When we actually talk about on-tap TLTRO. Let's move to the other point. Now we'll talk about a few important but at the same time easier questions. You can actually grasp them easily. That is why I'm saying easier questions. India's first indigenous anti-radiation missile. Indigenous anti-radiation missile. Read the words carefully because you haven't heard, I'm sure, much about such things. Anti-radiation missile, that is Rudram 1. Indigenous, actually made by us, made by the India only. India's first, that is why I've written it like that. India's first, emphatically telling you that indigenous anti-radiation missile, Rudram 1. What is Rudram 1? Actually, Rudram 1 is NGARM. And what is NGARM? That is New Generation Anti-Radiation Missile. Read that carefully. ARM is anti-radiation missile. Anti-radiation missile, that is ARM, and NG is new generation. New generation anti-radiation missile is Rudram 1. And I was saying that it was test fired. It is written here. That is the second point. Read that carefully. Test fired from Sukhoi 30 MKI. That is a fighter aircraft. It was actually test fired from Sukhoi. What? Rudram 1. What is Rudram 1? Rudram 1 is anti-radiation missile. Indigenously made. Let's move to the other point. Now we'll talk about Shaurya. Shaurya, what is Shaurya? Shaurya is a nuclear capable hypersonic surface to surface missile. When I read such a thing, people actually consider such a thing insignificant. But when you read it carefully, there's a question hidden here. What is Shaurya? You may answer it, it's a missile. But they are going to ask you, surely they are going to ask you, what sort of missile is that? This is basically a surface-to-surface missile, nuclear-capable missile, hypersonic missile. That is Shaurya I'm referring to. It was test-fired from APJ Abdul Kalam Island. And where does this island is situated? It is in Odisha. It was actually test-fired from APJ Abdul Kalam Island. And that island is in Odisha. Referring to Shaurya. What is Shaurya? Shaurya is basically the land variant of K-15 missiles. K-15 missile, that is the land variant is Shaurya of K-15 missile. I'll switch to the other question. India to build a $6 billion refinery, not in India. Yes, not in India. I'm telling you, it is in Myanmar. One of our neighbors, they'll be benefited, out of it. India to build a $6 billion refinery in Myanmar. Don't forget that because it was in news, obviously significant for all of us. That's how the name of the president and their state councillor become important for us. The names are Win Mint is the president of Myanmar. Win Mint is the president of Myanmar, and Aung San Suu Kyi. Aung San Suu Kyi is the state councillor of Myanmar. And Myanmar is the place where India is building a refinery of the value, that is $6 billion, huge. India forges a green strategic partnership with Denmark We heard a lot about Denmark in the last video as well. The name of the lady PM, their lady PM is Mette Frederiksen. Mette Frederiksen is the Prime Minister of Denmark. And there's another thing we are coming up with Denmark, because I'm talking about the foreign ties here. Green Strategic Partnership. India forges Green Strategic Partnership with Denmark. Let's move to the other point. Here we are going to discuss a lot many days of October. Yes, for the month of October, whatever is going to be there, I found that significant. I'm going to teach you right away. World Food Day, 16th October. World Food Day is observed on 16th of October, and the theme which was kept here, that was grow, nourish, sustain together. Grow, nourish, sustain together. That is not the theme. I'm saying that is the theme and there's something else to it. You need to add something else. Our actions are our future. The complete theme, what is written here, grow, nourish, sustain together. Our actions are our future. International Day of the Girl Child. International Day of the Girl Child is observed on 11th of October. And then I'm going to talk about the theme of it. The theme is My Voice, Our Equal Future. I'll repeat that. International Day of the Girl Child is observed on 11th October, and the theme for this year was My Voice, Our Equal Future. Let's move to the other day. The other significant day I found was World Mental Health Day. Mental Health Day is observed on 10th of October. Indian Air Force Day is observed on 8th of October. World Post Day is observed on 9th of October. And International Day for the Eradication of Poverty. Eradication, we are actually obviously not going to increase poverty. We are working on, that's what International Day symbolizes. That International Day, removal of poverty. International Day for the Eradication of Poverty is observed on 17th of October. Now we'll talk about a few bills which were passed by the government, by the central government. Labour Code bills were passed. Labour Code bills were passed. Now you have to be careful with the screen and whatever is written, because this Industrial Relations Code will be discussed further in the other page also. But I'm going to talk about it here. That is, Labour Code bills were passed by the Government of India. Industrial Relations Code 2020 was the first part of it, was the first bill. The second one was Code on Social Security 2020. That is also a Labour Code bill passed by the Government of India. Occupational Safety, Health and Working Conditions Code. Occupational Safety, Health and Working Conditions Code 2020, that is also the name of the bill passed by the Government of India. By just telling you all that, I wish to highlight something here, the lower point, that is Minister of State of Labour and Employment Ministry. He is Santosh Kumar Gangwar, and Santosh Kumar is the Minister of State. Does not mean he has any union minister above him. He is not supposed to report into anyone because he is the Minister of State, independent charge. Read that IC carefully. Minister of State, independent charge, Santosh Kumar Gangwar. He is the Labour and Employment Minister. Let's move to the other point, which is about Industrial Relations Code only. The first bill passed by the Government of India, referred in the previous page. I am going to talk about it once again, and that is Industrial Relations Code combines these three bills. These three bills, what are these three bills? Trade Union Act 1926. It has the features of all these three bills. That's what I actually was telling you. That Industrial Relations Code has the features of Trade Union Act, Trade Unions Act 1926, Industrial Employment Standing Orders Act 1946, Industrial Disputes Act 1947. So, Industrial Relations Code passed by the Government of India has the features of all these three bills which were passed previously. Okay, let's move to the other point. Air India, one high-tech aircraft acquired from USA are Boeing B777. So, Boeing B777 are from USA, we are already aware of. I'm saying that Air India, One high-tech aircraft acquired. The name of it is Boeing 777. The name of the country from which India acquired it is also important. I said USA. So Air India, aircraft acquired Boeing 777 from USA. The other point is Naugad railway station. Naugad railway station, such a huge thing, just happened. That was Naugad railway station's name got changed. Once again, some name got changed. Siddharth Nagar railway station. It has become Siddharth Nagar railway station. It is in Uttar Pradesh. It had to be. So I was saying Naugad railway station got a new name. That was Siddharth railway station. Siddharth Nagar railway station. I'm sorry. It is in Uttar Pradesh. And I was telling you something else. That Minister of Railways is Piyush Goyal. Told that earlier as well. Minister of Railways Piyush Goyal. Why I am talking about him? Because the name of the railway station got changed. That is why Minister of Railways become important for us. Naugad railway station, Siddharth Nagar railway station. And the last question of the day is unfinished. No, I am going to finish. I am going to wrap it up. The name of the memoir of Priyanka Chopra is Unfinished. Don't forget that. Unfinished Priyanka Chopra. Unfinished Priyanka Chopra. Relate that. If you could understand everything, please press the like button for sure. Respect my efforts because I put my whole lot of endeavors to actually help you guys. If you could not understand anything, there's a Hindi video in the playlist. You can watch that. Thank you so much.